you. I've been trying to get someone from corporate to talk about the polls and the comp plan, and it just didn't happen. Pardon me. So I literally on Sunday, I'm like, okay, what am I going to do? And I was chatting with Bethany, and she's like, Janine, what is it that you really want to learn for yourself, something that you want to grow? And I'm like, time blocking and habits, because I know that I could be more efficient with my day. So that's what we're going to talk about today, is time blocking and habits. And even yesterday, I was a little nervous, but now I'm like really excited about it. So everything happens for a reason. I really do believe that. And I hope that what I give to you today is going to be, it may be something that you've already known, or something that you have known and you need to get back into, or something that you just needed to hear. So I'm going to start with habits, and I really want this to be interactive. So unmute yourself. If you have something to say, please do, because I don't even know if I'm going to be able to talk for the whole hour. I may, because I do like to talk, but I really do want to hear your input as well, because I am by far not the expert on this. And I really want us to all learn from each other. So they say that most of the richest people in the world practice habits every day. And these are, the number one habit is giving gratitude. And I think this is something that we talked about a bit a little while back. And I know I won't even get out of bed in the morning until I've given gratitude, at least for 5-10 minutes. And it doesn't need to be anything huge. It could just be, I'm so grateful I'm having lunch with my sister today. I am so grateful that, my heart is beating and I feel great today. Today I was grateful for, I'm getting ready to go away to Sedona with my bestie this weekend. And it's just being grateful. The more you are grateful, the more abundance is going to come into your life. And the more abundance that you create, not just for you, but for everyone around you. And celebrate all of the little things. Pat yourself on the back at the end of each day for what you've accomplished, because even if you just got through the day, hey, you got through the day. Pat yourself on the back and celebrate that. And cultivate confidence. We've heard from different Isagenix leaders again and again that posture is everything. And I really do feel that I haven't been able to close some deals in the past because my posture wasn't as strong as it is today. Now I know in my heart, 1000%, network marketing, Isagenix, the products, the comp plan, all of that. I have such a firm belief in it that my posture is so much stronger. And when people say, oh, I'm not sure if it's for me, I'm like, yeah, that may be, but you're not going to know until you give it a try. I'm not going to twist your arm, but I know that you're going to love it. You just have to have that posture. And taking in the right things and being intentional and not reactive. And this is actually something I want to discuss amongst people, because I think that this is something that it's very interesting to me, knowing how I am today compared to where I was, say, 5 or 10 years ago, where when life happens to you, instead of reacting to it, responding instead. And it may be, someone making a snide remark, or a partner saying something to you that you didn't agree with and you got defensive about. Does anyone have any examples that they can think of just off the top of their head, how it's better to be intentional and not react, but actually respond? Anyone have anything off the top of their head that they can think of that they'd like to share that may teach one of the others of us? Anybody? Raise your hand.
I know for me, Janine, so I know for me, I've been working to be intentional and to really listen to people and when I don't fill the gap, sometimes you're quiet and it can be nerve-wracking. Like you're like, oh, I want to fill the gap with something. I want to say something.
Mhm.
And for me, like I've been working on just listening, and it seems like the responses I'm getting from other people, they're actually answering themselves and coming to a realization on their own versus me coming as the expert and like pointing it out for them. So almost like a guide, and I'm almost like a soundboard. Like they're talking and they're saying the things and then they're coming up with the solution in a sense. And I'm just working on being that safe space and the soundboard and a great listener.
I love that. Listening is a skill. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. There's some people that love to listen to their own voice. I know lots of people like that you're just like, geez, let somebody else say something, please. And it's great. I love that, Annie. That's something I think that, we should all work on, is listening, because when we listen, we hear what people are saying, and we can take that in and may be able to find another way that we can help them with isogenics. So that's fabulous. Love
I
that.
agree. And then we can actually, well, maybe not many people listen to it, but you can feel their energy, whether they're just because we don't know what people are going through behind closed doors. We see social media and they look amazing, all the things are happy, but behind closed doors, they're just like alone,
Yeah.
scared, all these things. And so we have a chance, even on the phone, to feel them.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people just want to be felt, understood, and listened to.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you so much for
Mm-hmm.
sharing. I appreciate it. So we all want to set up our week or your day, because when you have a plan, you're going to get more accomplished, and you're in the driver's seat, and you can be more confident because you're doing what you need to be doing, not just doing, if that makes sense. And do the things. Don't talk about doing the things. We've heard this again, I'm getting ready to get ready. I'm getting ready to get ready. I need to have everything, all my ducks in a row. Just do it. Just do it. And do your work in silence. This was something that I thought was really interesting. Don't let success be your noise, and don't talk about it. Be about it. I mean, let me say that again. Don't talk about it, but be about it. That just really hit home with me. Now, goals. I think that we all have goals. In isogenics, if it's with your health, with your wealth, with your family, with your love life, whatever it may be, we all need to have daily goals, weekly goals, monthly goals, and yearly goals. Because there's some things that we're not going to accomplish in a day or a week or even a month, but it's going to take us a year to get there. One of my goals right now, we'll go into that later, but it is for April of next year. And it's not quite a year away, but I started working on it a little while ago. So that's my yearly goal. We all need to have goals that we set out for ourselves and write them down and look at them and focus on them, and don't get distracted, because when you have a goal that you want to hit and you have a game plan for getting to that goal, it's going to happen. Instead of just saying, oh yeah, this is what I want to do, and then, just think that it's going to happen. It's not going to just happen. And a really good analogy could be when you get into a car, you have an end place that you're going to get to, that that that's where you're going. You don't just get in the car and drive around circles and be like, I'm not sure where I'm going. My car will just lead me there. You get in the car and you know where your destination is. So your goal, look at it as your destination. That is where you are going to. And this is how you're going to get there. Now, talking a bit about time blocking, and this really blew me away. The gal that I learned from, her name is Sunny, and she is an entrepreneur. She's very young, beautiful girl. And what she said to do was to write a time journal. You need to know how long it takes to get things done so that you can plan out your week. And this really blew me away, that you don't think that things really take some time as long or as short as they actually do to get done. Like, for example, I thought, I could, in the mornings, it really only takes me, a half hour, 45 minutes to get Andrew ready for school. No, it takes me a good hour. I need an hour. That way I'm not rushed. I can have, do my morning routine and feel good about it. And to be very honest, I won't do anything. I won't open email. I won't open messages. Andrew's my focus in the morning, and that's just my routine. That's one of my daily habits, is we get ready in the morning together. I might listen to Marco Polo's with my sisters while I'm cooking them breakfast or something like that. But anything work related, I just don't do, because I can't sit down and focus on it. Because when you don't have that intention behind focusing on something, it's just not going to get done properly. You want to actually really do it properly. And very good example, the other day, I did open a message from Sipple, and I'm like, oh gosh darn it. I'm like, I really want to do my tile this morning so that I'm ready for it. And I didn't put the time on there. She's like, the time would be great. I'm like, oh goodness gracious. This is a perfect example of not being intentional and focusing on what it is that you're doing. I was trying to rush, and when you rush, nothing gets done properly. So create a journal as to your time, and you will definitely be blown away by how much it actually takes to get things done. And then the second thing is to ask yourself these 3 questions and be honest. 1, does this really need to be done? 2, does this need to be done right now? And 3, does this need to be done by me? So delegate or delete things that really don't need to be done or don't need to be done by you, because there are things on your list that you think you need to do that you really don't need to do, or that can wait, that can go on your dump list, that, can be done down the road. And you will realize that there is a lot that you can take off of that list. And I know I'm a big list person. I constantly have a list for everything. And it does feel really good crossing things off the list. But she also says that, having a to-do list isn't the best thing in the world either. So I'm on 2 minds about that one. And then the third thing she talked about was daily priorities. She has a business. I'm not exactly sure what her business is, but she has 4 things that she does every day. And for us, that would be income producing activities. We need to do our income producing activities every day, because if we don't, our business is not going to grow. And so that's going to bring me to my daily activity sheet. And this is something that Bethany taught me years ago, and I was so good at doing it every single day. And then I got out of it, and I saw my business go down because I wasn't focused on the things I need to do every day. I was busy being busy. And I'm happy to share this in the group text so that you can see what it looks like. But it's something that I print out every day. I write the date on it. And at the very top, I have my goal. That's my goal. I'm going to be a 2-star because I've been like right under a 2-star for so long. But I'm going to hit that 2-star, and I have by a specific date. And then the next thing down, I have all of my non-negotiable things that I do every day without fail. And I just tick them off. One of them is a workout. Another one's my affirmations and my visualizations with my vision board and my intentions. Because after, our tribe time last week, we knew how important that is. Sending out invitations for Zooms and events, because we always have got some sort of event. Stephanie does the awesome story time every week. We have Super Saturdays. You might have challenges within your team. There's always some sort of event Friendsgiving. We're going to talk about Friendsgiving at the end of today. There's always something that we have to build towards to build our community. And then I always send out 20 Facebook messages. Now, it might not be a personal message. It may be where I am going into my team page and tagging somebody in a post that will give them value, or going to some of my prospects pages and just liking and commenting and giving love on their wall. So messages aren't necessarily Facebook messages, but I'm sending at least, I'm doing at least 20 every day. And those are follow-ups. When you are active in your business page, which is so darn important to be active in your business page, because that's where your prospects are going to see, get your notifications. It's just really important to keep doing this, because the more you do it, it becomes a habit. And once it's a habit, that's when things happen. That's when the magic happens. And then further down on my sheet, the next thing I do is my next header is business builders, follow up and support. So you may be just starting out and you might not have a business builder yet. That's okay, because you will get there and you will have business builders. You want to give them as much time and energy as you can, because the more they grow, the more you are going to grow. Their success is your success. And I cannot wait. I don't have an executive under me yet, but I will have at least 2 by this time next year. And I'm super excited about that. And that just makes you feel so good that your people are succeeding. The next header is current cleansers, to follow up and support. And we all know how important that is. If your people know that you're there to support them, then they will succeed. And I really feel that that's why Isagenix is so much better than so many other companies, because we love and support our people. We don't just sign them up and wave and say, good luck, you know, let me know when you hit your goal. We're there every step of the way, helping them in any way that we can. My next header is prospects, new prospects, initial connections and follow-ups. Now, of course, this has changed so much since COVID hit. I know I used to be at least 2 networking events a week outside of the house, and that just isn't happening anymore. So now I'm finding new ways to connect with new people, because you can't always really connect just on Facebook. You get creative, and it may be in groups, it may be in whatever it is, but we need to constantly be filling that pipeline, because the more people we have in that pipeline, we all know it's a numbers game. More people you talk to, the more enrollments you're going to get, and the more the businesses you're going to grow. Next header is shower people with love. And this is something I've always been very maternal. I've always been the mom in the group. When I was 13, my mom was very sick and she was in the hospital for over a year. And I took over of being the mother to my 3 little sisters. And I'm sure that that's, you know, where it all stems from. But I love showering people with love. And it doesn't have to be prospects. Doesn't have to be your family members. It could be a complete stranger. You don't know who you're going to smile at today that's going to turn their day around. Someone that was having a bad day. And when a stranger smiles at you, if I had strangers before say to me, do I know you? I'm like, no, I don't think so. They're like, well, you just smiled at me like you knew me. I'm like, well, I just smiled. You know, there's nothing wrong with giving love to a complete stranger. I think we all need to have more love in this world. If we did, it would be such a better place. So shower love on at least 3 people every day. It may just be complimenting a woman on her outfit or her shoes or her hairstyle, whatever it is. We all need to be doing more of it. And then my last header is product, business, personal development. And again, Isagenix has got so much going on right now. We've got Grow Week. We have the Roadmap to Success with David Wood. We have a Super Saturday coming up. There's, you know, our one team story time. There's all sorts of things that's always going on within Isagenix there's podcasts, there's so much that we can be doing for ourselves. So constantly plug in, constantly be learning and growing, because if you're not learning, you're dying. If you're not growing, you're dying. So that's my daily activity sheet that I make sure. And at the end of the day, if I look at this and I don't have it filled in, I know my day's not done. I need to do a bit more work. And even though I have just, 3 people to follow up for current cleansers, I may have more people, and that's okay. Write more names there. And then at the end of the day, when that is done, it feels really good to say, yay, I have accomplished my day and got done what I needed to do for not only my business, but for me personally as well. So a day in a life, and all of us have got a different day. I'm sure my day looks different from Annie's day, and Annie's day looks different from Sybil's day. Everybody's day is different, but whatever your day is, be intentional about it. I know a lot of people like to wake up. Like I said, I try and not do anything business until I am sitting in my desk intentionally ready to go. But when you are, put your phone in airplane mode so it doesn't distract you. Because, oh my gosh, Pavlov's dog. We hear that little ding. We got to look. We got to see what that message is. Who said that? What was that email that just came in? Oh my gosh, I got to see what it is. No, you don't. I'm sure it's not life or death. If it was life or death, someone would be calling you. And it's okay to not respond to a text as soon as it comes in. It is okay. And that's why we time block. That's why we say, okay, from 11:30 to 12:30 today is tribe time. At 12:30 to 12:45, I'm going to respond to messages. 12:45 to 1 o'clock, I'm going to have lunch and take a break. 1 o'clock, I'm going to jump on my next call. When you have that time blocking done, you know what time it is to do what it is that you need to do at that time. And something that I learned from Susan Sly, I took a course of hers years ago, was to be color coordinated, to have a rainbow on your calendar. And your calendar can be whatever it is you want it to be. Personally, for me, I like to write things out. I'm not great on my phone. So I have a great big desk calendar, and purple or pink is my personal stuff. Blue is my Andrew stuff, and green is all my Isis stuff. And that way, when you see, if I've got like all blue, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm putting too much into just Andrew. I need to put some more into me and some more into my business. You want to be a nice, even balance for your life. And I know a lot of people like to have their Google Calendar, whatever it is on their phone. That's fantastic. Whatever works for you, you do that. And I know that a lot of people do have specific time blocking planners. I know the Passion Planner is a big one that people love. You don't have to be fancy. You just have to do it. Whatever it is that you do, make sure you do it. And I think I said this, but do make sure you schedule in breaks and eating. I know there is a lot of time that I'll be going, and I'll look at the clock. I'm like, oh my gosh, I never have my afternoon shake. And then it's like, oh gosh, well, I'm going to have dinner soon. Should I have my shake or shouldn't I? So we do need to schedule in when to eat and when to take breaks. It is important to do. So don't forget to eat. And at the beginning of the week, prioritize. What is the most important thing that you need to get done this week? Like for me on Sunday, I'm like, all right, I need to put together what the heck I'm going to do on Tuesday, because I don't know what I'm going to do on Tuesday because no one ever got back to me. I followed up and no one got back to me. So I'm like, okay, this is the beginning of my week on Sunday, and this is what I'm going to do. So you need to prioritize. The youngest female billionaire in the world, Sarah Blakely, who created Spanx. None of us need that. She speaks about mindset. And I know this is something we talked about last week, but this is something that Sunny brought up and I thought was really interesting. She says that mindset is the most important thing for entrepreneurs. So think of mindset for an entrepreneur as what physical strength would be for a professional athlete. That is our muscle. Our mindset is our muscle for being a successful entrepreneur. When we have a really good mindset, then we have got the tools to succeed. Then we can get our day done with intention, and we can get our day done and things are going to happen for the positive. So we want to make our day more fun, efficient, and free. And by time blocking and knowing, okay, I have this white time on my calendar where I've got nothing. It's like, okay, what can I put in there that's going to make my day more fun? And it may be going and grabbing a coffee with one of those prospects that you've been trying to connect with. Or it may be sitting down and reading some more of that book that you've been meaning to get back into again. Or it may just be calling a friend or a loved one that you've been meaning to catch up with. So when you see those blank spaces in your day, it doesn't mean that you're just going to goof off. It means you're going to have intentionally make it more fun. Find something fun to fill those spaces with. Not just scrolling Facebook, because so many of us, and I am definitely one of those people that, you know, I'll get into Facebook and I'm just like, next thing you know, you go down this little tunnel and you look and you're like, oh my gosh, how did an hour go by? I was just going to catch up on, see what was going on. It is a dark hole that you can go into. It's like one of those black holes. You get into it and it's like, how the heck do I get out of here? So if we, again, intentionally don't go on Facebook just to scroll, we go onto Facebook intentionally to make new connections. We go on Facebook intentionally to pour love into people, to follow up with people. That is what we need to keep in mind. Make that your habit. Your habit isn't going on Facebook just to see what's going on. Your habit is to go on Facebook intentionally to make connections and work. Pretty much, bottom line, it's the work. I definitely wanted to, okay, this is something, I forget where I was going to say this because I didn't make a note about it, but I was thinking about it before we got on the call. Intentionally giving value to people every day. And I think that when I was talking about giving love to people is where I was going to talk about this, and I forgot. When we are intentionally trying to give value to people, I know that's definitely the goal of all of us, is to give value to people's lives. And this was just a really cool example that I wanted to share with you all. I had a really good friend, John Ribble, that I grew up with all through school. Lost contact with him after college. On Facebook, I saw someone, her name was Kimberly Ribble, comment on one of our mutual friends' pages. And so I sent this Kimberly Ribble a message. I said, hey, are you by any chance John Ribble's wife? And she said, I am. I said, is he on Facebook? She's like, no. I said, well, can we be friends? Because he was a really good friend of mine through school. And I haven't talked or seen him in decades. And your kids look so much like him. You know, I would really love just to follow your family. She's like, sure. So we became Facebook friends. And then I met her at our class reunion just last month. And we were chatting and she said, Janine, I love every day. I can't wait to see what you're going to post because it always puts a smile on my face. And I said, oh my gosh, well, you're putting a smile on my face just telling me that. It made me feel so good. And then here comes her husband, John. He's like, oh, Janine, this is my wife, Kim. Kim, this is Janine. I said, yeah, we're Facebook friends. And she said, John, I probably know her better than you do. And I thought that was hilarious. And I said, I am so grateful, Kim, that you're my friend. And now she's like, I want to come visit you in Arizona. I want to know more about you. I want to just hang out with you. I'm like, awesome. Let's plan a girls trip. You guys come visit me in the spring. So she and a couple of my other besties are going to come out in the spring to visit. And I just thought that was so cool. So you never know who behind the scenes, because she never has said anything to me. Like, she never comments on my posts. She might like something now and again, but she's never said anything else. So I never knew that I was giving value to her and that she looked forward to it every day, for crying out loud. So you just don't know what's going on behind the scenes. So just keep doing what you're doing, because we're all doing it good and well. Dump list. Who has a dump list? Anyone know what a dump list is? So I think actually Tony Robbins may have taught this to my sister, and she taught it to me. So when you say, oh gosh, I need to cancel that subscription, instead of stopping what you're doing right then and there and doing it, put it on your dump list. It's something that you've got a month, they just gave you a month warning or whatever. It's like, oh yeah, I got to do that. You don't need to stop your day and do that thing that you just thought about. Put it on your list. And then when you have some of that white time, some of that free time, go to your dump list and see, what is it? Can I get off my dump list today? Things that don't need to be taken care of immediately, but things that do need to get done. Put it on your dump list. So that way you're not worrying about it. You're not thinking about it. You're not giving it energy. You're still focusing on what you need to focus on, and what's most importantly on your schedule for that day. And then this is another interesting thing that Sunny spoke about, was doing a whole life assessment at the beginning of each week. So on a scale from 1 to 10, look at your health, your mental or emotional being, your love life or partner, marriage, whatever it may be, family, friends, your mission, your experiences, your spirit, your finances, and your learning. And at the beginning of each week, just 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. Obviously, no one's going to be at a 10 with everything, because we don't live in a perfect world, but we do want all of these things to be on the upper echelon of that 10 mark. If there's things that are a 5 or below, obviously we need to give a little bit more attention to those this week, because we all want to feel our best. And all of these are contributed to how we're feeling, how we're acting, how we're treating other people. So we really want to have everything being, like I said, not perfect, but we want it to be good. And if something is lacking, and we may not even realize, oh my gosh, my learning is a bit low this week, I didn't do any personal learning, then I need a time block for some personal learning this week. I'm getting ready to start an angel course today, which I'm super duper excited about. I've always felt spirit around me. I've always felt my loved ones around me, and I've never really known much about it. And talking with my sisters this morning, they're like, Janine, I can't believe you have time to do that. I'm like, well, I don't go out and have my lashes done. I don't go out and have my hair done and my nails done and this and this. This is me time. This is my spiritual time. I really felt, since my dad passed, I've felt so much that I wanted to learn more. And so I'm doing an angel course with Mike Dooley starting today, and I'm super duper excited about it. And just thinking about that and focusing about that, as I was doing a Zoom with our team last night, it was dark in my room. I had the light on me, fans were off, windows were shut, and I saw something shoot behind me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, who is it? Is it my mom? Is it my dad? Is it a loved one? I've got someone here with me that's loving and supporting on me. So I'm super excited to start my angel course, because that was something that I needed in my life. And then the very last thing I'm just going to talk about is to block your time and protect it. Don't let people invade your personal time. It's okay to say no. And again, this is something I learned not that long ago. It really is okay to say no. Self-love and self-worth is not a selfish thing to do at all. It's a wonderful and abundant thing to do for yourself, because the more your cup is full, the more you have to give back to others. Janine, your volume went out. Hey, Janine, your volume went out. Not sure.
Weekend
with girlfriends.
We missed you on all that.
Oh, now you're back, Janine. We just heard you say. Can you hear me now? Yeah. Okay, cool. I'm not sure where I was, so I'll just start where I was at, where I think I may have been. It's okay to ask for help if you need it. For the first 14 years of Andrew's life, he only spent 2 nights away from me at a special needs camp. Other than that, I never had a weekend away with girls or friends or family. He was with me 24/7, unless he was at school, or even if he was at therapy, I was there at therapy with him. Where now I have respite. I have caregivers for Andrew, and it feels so much better. Like I am able to have more time for me and build myself up and give myself self-love. Like I'm going away for a long weekend to Sedona. I felt like I needed to get regrounded with my girlfriend. And so I think it does Andrew good for me, doing good for myself. We need to take care of ourselves. So that's all I got. But I do, want to open it up to everybody. If anyone has anything that they would like to add, any comments, any suggestions, websites, books, anything, please feel free to unmute yourself. Sybil?
I was just going to throw in Penny, when you were going through your power hour and your daily activities. Yes. I think that before people even, some people haven't implemented it yet. That has really been amazing to keep us on track. We did reach outs just this morning, and I think I did 38 reach outs in 45 minutes. Wow. So I think it's just super important to always remind people that that is a resource that is free and has changed the game for so many.
Yes. And the more you use Penny, the smarter she gets.
Exactly. Really smart. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Artificial intelligence. It is incredible. And yes, and I definitely, I'm using Penny, but not as much as I should be. And that's actually time blocked for tomorrow is Penny app I have for my whole afternoon, where I'm just really going to dive in and learn more, go back to the tribe times where we did learning on that and just focus on it. Cause I had so much going on in my head when we were doing those trainings and focusing and learning. So thank you very much, Sybil. That's a fantastic point. Anyone else? If not, I want to talk Friendsgiving a little bit because it's just a week away. I don't know about you guys, but I'm super duper excited for Friendsgiving. I already have 5 definite people that are coming, so that's super cool. And I'm really hoping I'm going to have at least a couple more. So let's keep inviting our friends and following up with our friends. Something that I wanted to make sure everyone was aware of, our complex is very full at the moment. So parking is very limited at the moment. So if you can Uber, or if you can carpool, or even if, a few of you get together and meet over at the Dillards right across the street and park there and then just bring one car in, whatever you can do to help with that would be appreciated. Because I know I've got lots of friends in the complex that say, I can't get a parking spot at night. I can't believe I can't get a parking spot when I get home from work. So the last thing I want to do is make anyone mad, them seeing us having a party and thinking that all these outside people are taking their parking spots. That would very much be appreciated. And there is parking on the road behind our building where the DoubleTree Hotel is. You just have to walk around to come in the front gate, or just call me. I'll make sure to put my phone number in the event. So, and I will keep my phone right with me. You could always call me. There are back gates. I could always walk over and open the back gate for people to come in there as well, so they don't have to walk around the block. And the gate that we need to go into the pool is right where we would go up the steps to go to the business center. Instead of going up the steps, like right where the ladies' room is, that's the gate that's open to be able to go into the pool area. So I will put signs up. I'll print little Friendsgiving signs and try and tape them to the wall so people can see that's where it is. And I'll take a picture so that people can get a visual idea of where it is. That's the only gate that is unlocked that we can get into the pool by, which is silly, but it's COVID. Nothing makes sense. Okay. Well, 12:18. I talked a bit longer than I thought I was going to, so that's fantastic. Oh, you still can't hear me. Can you hear me now? Okay, good. I don't know why Zoom doesn't like my computer. But thank you very much, ladies, for joining me today. I hope I did put some value into your life and that I taught you something that you didn't know, or maybe something that just needed to be implemented again. And I appreciate every single one of you, all of your smiling faces.
Thank you so much, Janine. That was great.
You're very welcome.
I love the dump list because these are all things that keep me awake at night.
Yes, we don't need that. We don't need that. We need to just relax.
Yeah, here's
Make
mine.
it a good, thank you. Thank you. You're already starting your dump list. I love it. Yay. Okay, cool. Now I feel really good.